Today I'm going to show you how to run BeamNG at 60 frames a second on a sort of mid-range CPU setup. I'm running right now, as you can see on the top left, 60 frames a second in this massive open world, and I'm running it on a very mid-range 10600K Intel CPU. This is quite an old CPU now, and it was mid-range at the time. So I'm going to show you all the settings you need to do to get this kind of performance. And yes, I have all of the physics on, as we're going to see now. And you can see the frame rate isn't really struggling, even though we've got all of these physics going on. So let's have a look as I'm stuck with this car. And I'm going to show you, in fact, I'll reset. There we go. And I'll show you what I've got in terms of the settings. So the first thing you want to do is go to display here in the settings. And you want to lock your refresh rate to 60 Hz. I don't think there's any point really running BeamNG more than 60 Hz. It's such an intense game. I think locking it to 60 is the way to go. Let me know in the comments if you find that controversial, but I think 60 frames a second is such a good experience here because of the physics and everything. It feels incredibly detailed. So I'm limiting that to 60. Now the first big weapon you have to control the frame rate in BeamNG is the resolution. So if you are struggling, if you're not getting anywhere near 60, definitely lower that resolution down. I'll go to 1080p, maybe even go to 720p, because you're still going to have a much more fluid experience, I would say, at 60 FPS and 720p than, say, 30 FPS and 1080p. It won't work exactly like that, but you get the idea. Look at my guy there. He's going up. Let's find him. Where's he going? My guy, no, he's going off the edge. What's he doing? Where's he going to go now? All right, we've got something to look at in the background. So when you make all those changes, you can apply settings. Now, this is the second most important thing. You can see here, I've locked the frame rate to 60. So my PC is not going to stress itself trying to get above 60. Why is that important? Well, the main consideration with performance in PCs, especially, by the way, if you're running this laptop, is basically heat. It's thermal dissipation. So if you let this all run unlocked, your PC might go a little bit crazy, the GPU, CPU, and it might start to thermal throttle. So here I've limited to 60 just to try and keep everything nice and cool. And I've also put vertical sync on as well. So it's going to wait till the frames, it's just going to deliver the frames at 60 Hertz, basically. I think this is the best way to run somewhere like BeamNG. Again, let me know in the comments if you disagree. Now, these are all the little tweaky ones. Now, these don't make as big a difference as display, but they still get you there if you're struggling. Now, the first thing I do is I turn off dynamic reflection. To me, I don't really miss it, and it seems to me to be very resource intensive. So I turn that off, and I also completely lower the grass density. Now, as you can see, there is grass around. You can see over there, there's grass on the left-hand side, a bit on the right as well. But if you maximize grass density, it just becomes so absurdly detailed. And this is a driving game where we're driving at speed most of the time. So I just turn that down, and that's more than good enough. I'll show you what else I have here. I've got high on mesh, high on texture, ultra on lighting. The lighting's really important. That's not something I really want to sacrifice. Shadows, I want everything on shadows as well. I don't want to sacrifice that. Shader quality high, post-processing high, and anisotropic I've gone 4. You can go up to 16, I think, but I've kept that on 4. And AA, I've got SMAA, which is quite does quite a nice job here of doing the anti-aliasing, I think. Now, what I turn off is I turn off light rays. They don't make a big difference. I definitely would recommend leaving ambient occlusion on, because that gives the darkening of sort of the shadows, and it makes the cars, you know, confirms that they are actually sitting on the ground and not just floating around in space. Bloom doesn't do much. I leave it on. Depth of field, I actually leave on. Depth of field, I actually think may have a benefit when it comes to performance, because it sort of blurs out the background, as you can see, and it's not trying to do these pin sharp pixel, you know, perfect pixel, you know, what am I talking about? It's not trying to reproduce every single pixel there. It's sort of blurred and it's softer. Motion blur I leave on. I don't want to sacrifice that. And the time marks I leave on. And that, to be honest, is the main part of it. Now, there is something else you can do, which is if you go to gameplay, you can turn on simplify collision physics. If you are CPU bound, then you will have a massive benefit for this. By the way, let me know in the comments if you find these videos helpful. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more of these. And let me know what other games you're playing and you want me to test out and do sort of benchmarking. But yeah, turn that off. You see I've got maximum vehicles on as well. You can also turn that down. That does a good job on the CPU side. And that is pretty much it. I have to say, there is some stuff in other that I don't really do high performance plan is on. If you have a gaming PC, you should have that on anyway, but that's good that it ticks it on. And that's pretty much it. And you can see when I return to confirm, we are running this at 60 frames a second, and there is an awful lot, just going to barge through here, an awful lot going on. I mean, look, we're in a massive open world map. Through the middle! Oh no! All the physics is happening. We're going to punt off this car here. Bosh. And we're running at a very, very, very steady 60 frames a second. It's a really, really, really enjoyable experience. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope you found it helpful. BeamNG is honestly going to be one of the most exciting places to be in 2023. You're going to be doing a lot of it on this channel. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you next time.